Up demonstrator in Canada, and I want to welcome you to my live. I'm just looking to make sure, is it going to come up on my iPad to show? Yes. Okay, so let me just turn my volume. There we go. I don't want to hear myself echoing. I'm just going to move my cord. I forgot to plug in and charge my devices. So it is a rainy, overcast day here in southwestern Ontario. Um, Please say hello when you join me. Let me know where you're coming from. Is it rainy and overcast where you are? That's the perfect time to be crafting. So before we get started, I just want to remind you about my Sweet as a Peach stamp camp. Um, I've got the majority of my people are wanting the Friday evening. Um, I have a blog post about that. I sent out a newsletter. You can find all the information on my social media. Sign up deadline is on June the 7th. So that is going to come up very, very quickly. All right, don't forget about the kits collection. Now you can purchase a variety of kits at a variety of price points, either with stamping or without on my, in my shopping page. There you go to my blog and you will hit the shop now, and when you get in there it's going to show you when you click the kits, it'll show you the variety. It's while supplies last only, guys. So if there's something that you're wanting, be sure to get it right away. Don't forget about the paper pumpkin. The sign up deadline, excuse me, is also very quickly coming, June 10th. So if you're wanting this, a new kit, then you subscribe before June the 10th. And the Connect, Craft, and Collect. So until June 14th, you're going to get an extra $30 once you hit that 300 in sales. You're going to get an additional $30 in host rewards. So that means if you've got a $300 order, you're going to get $60 free. So that's the perfect time to gather your friends' orders together and place one order to share larger rewards. Hello, Amy. How are you? Thanks for joining. Okay, so this afternoon, we're going to be using these two stamp sets. I've already pre-stamped this one here. Hello, Jeannie. Yay. See, on YouTube, I can see your comments, whereas on Facebook, I couldn't see them. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with Facebook. So, but I can see you here, who's joined me, who's commenting. So yay, that makes me happy. I can actually interact. All right, and Party Puffins. So this is the card we're going to be creating. So this card here, I actually created for my Party Puffins class to go. So all of you lovely ladies that took part in my class would have gotten this card in your kit. So I'm going to show you how fabulous and easy it is to create. All right, so first up, we are going to stamp our adorable little puffin. So I've got my Stamparatus because I find that these puffins, the nature of the stamp, sometimes they do not fully stamp. You can't get a great stamped image. You have to do it a couple times. So if you have a Stamparatus, then you are all set to go. It is easy peasy. Now, because it's really overcast today and dark, I've got my lights in here closer, so it is glaring, and I do apologize for that. So I've got my puffin. He is, or she is, all inked up. So I'm using my Staples eraser for the dry erase board that I picked up. They didn't have any when I went to the dollar store. before we had our stay-at-home order. Because now you can't go into the dollar store and buy non-essential items right now. So you can see, if I zoom you in, you can see that we don't have a great fully inked image. So we're going to come back in and ink it up again. Nice even pressure with this dry eraser. Okay, now there's still a couple spots. So if you've got the basic black Stampin' Blend, you can come in and just touch those areas that maybe didn't quite get all of that ink, because Memento is a water-based ink and the Stampin' Blends are alcohol, so that fills in those spots easy peasy, just like that. All right, because we have double stamped this, we are going to need a few moments for it to dry. So we're going to set that aside, and we're going to move this aside. And we are going to do some watercoloring on our Fluid 100. Let me just bring all this in. So I've got all my pieces. So my blog post is already live. It went live at 5 a.m. this morning. So this is Fluid 100 cardstock that Stampin' Up sells. So what we are going to do, I have... Let's get this out of the way so that I do not get that wet. Put this here in view. All right, so I have a dish of water and I have one of my water painters. So I did not do a very good job rinsing this out last time because look at, it's turning my my water blue. So I'm using Coastal Cabana. So to get your ink moving across your cardstock, it's always a good idea to lay down that water first to get that wet. So I am just going over with my paintbrush here. You can see how it's shiny. So I've got a nice coat on there. So you can either, this I have had for years and years and years. I don't remember where I got it from. So you can either use a ink refill and put a drop in here or on the block, or you can take your clear block and as long as it is clean, you don't want to get anything, if this is dirty, you don't want to contaminate your ink pad. So then you would just pick it up like this, and then you can pick up your ink from your block, whichever way you prefer. I just wanted to show you how you're going to do it either way. So then we would take and get to the side so I can squeeze, and you're just going to lay down that color. And then you can take a paper towel and dry that a bit, or you can, I've got my heat tool. It's going to get a little noisy. Hello, Diana. Thanks for joining. So did you know, you can't see anymore, did you know that the Stampin' Up! Heat tool has 2 settings? So we've got our first setting is for drying ink, helping the ink set. And then the second is for heat embossing to emboss, to melt and emboss that embossing powder. melt it and set it. So great value for that tool because you've got two different options. So here's the first one. So that is for drying your ink and like heat setting it if you want it a little quicker. And then that is for your embossing powders. So you would just take this and heat it like this to dry if you're looking to get it drier faster. Now I want to get some of this water out because I want to come in and add just a titch more of ink to certain areas. So I'm taking my paper towel and I am just soaking up some of that side stuff. All right, so I'm now going to take where I've got my my ink refill, and I'm just going to come in. Now, if this was drier, you would be able to get deeper tones. I just want, in certain areas, I want it a little darker than others. So depending on what look you're going for, so I wanted the lighter and the darker. Now I'm going to set this aside. I don't have one already ahead of schedule because we're going to have time here to get it a little drier, because we're going to come in here and we're going to color our cute little puffin. So let's move you off to the side for the moment. Okay, so Mr. Puffin, you need some rosy cheeks with the light petal pink. So, yeah, they are calling for thunder showers this afternoon. And Damon and Connor and Brad all have late afternoon tea times because it is men's league at the golf course tonight. So fingers crossed that it does not a thunder shower. We got quite a bit of rain through the night, and my sister Ann and I went for a big 5-kilometer walk this morning, and we walked around the big farmer's field, the big field and the little field. In the big field is clay, so my shoes are still out front, totally caked in mud. I'm hoping that they're gonna dry and then I can bang them off and then put them in the washing machine. All right, so I'm using the light poppy parade and the dark pale papaya just to give some orangey tone to Mr. Puffin's beak here. And just going to come in just a smidge darker here on the feet. Okay, and I forgot to grab my color lifter. I go through these like crazy. The last order I put in, I added 3 new color lifters because I'm like, keep pulling them out and going, oh darn, that one's dry. Try the next one. Oh no, it's almost dry as well. Okay, so let's cut this down. Yeah, Diana, I'm watching on my iPad. My iPad is up at the top left-hand corner, so I can see you guys. I can see who is commenting. I don't know how many people who, it doesn't show me who's watching unless they comment. But it's so much better than Facebook, where it wasn't, I couldn't see. So all I'm doing here is I am coming in and I am trimming this down to a more manageable size, and then I'm going to leave like a little halo around. So it is, while the guys are golfing, that means I don't have to cook supper. Yay, they'll grab something out on the course. So I can just continue on working and not have to worry about stopping or anything like that, because they won't be back until 8 o'clock or so. Now I will not be live tomorrow. Brad and I, when the guys get back, Brad, Maisie and I have to scoot up to, oh no, that's tomorrow night. I was thinking it was tonight that I was going. No, it's tomorrow we're going to the cottage. Connor is using my vehicle. He's got his insurance broker's exam tomorrow in Windsor. So he's taking my vehicle and we're leaving tomorrow as soon as he gets back. We have to cut grass, so every 2 weeks, or it ends up looking like a hayfield. And then hopefully in a couple of weeks when they open things up, Anne and Willie, my sister Anne and her husband Willie, are going to come up with us because we have to replace that toilet that froze solid in the winter. It's leaking. So we don't go up to the cottage for very long, just to get up there, just basically 24 hours to get our stuff done and come back home. So it'd be really nice to have that toilet replaced. We already have the toilet, but have it replaced so that we can not rush. Take a bit more time to relax up there. Okay, see how easy it was to fussy cut that out? Easy peasy. All right, so we are still a little damp, so we're going to come back in, and you can see where we've got the light and the dark. So excuse the mess, or the noise. Okay. Your laptop doesn't show you, it shows an error on the video. Strange. No, my iPad, I see myself, I can see my view, and I can see everybody's comments. It's fabulous. So if Facebook doesn't smarten up, I think I'm going to have to start doing more YouTubes so that I can actually chat away with everybody. It's not quite the same when you have to get off to see people's comments. So yes, this is curling it slightly, but I'm okay with that because I'm going to run this through the Stampin' Cut and Boss machine with the so far you're good for Facebook, Di. Yeah, I just don't understand what's going on. Like I showed in the video last night, it shows that I don't have permission. It's permission denied. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It is my channel. Why can't I open it up? So you could add more color at this point in time if you wanted more intensity. But I'm going to say that is good because we're going to be coming in. Let's move all of this stuff out of the way, and definitely this clear block because I don't want to end up making a mess. So this is why it's a great thing to have your ink refills, because it's easier to create watercolor backgrounds with the ink refill. All right, so sadly, the mini Stampin' Cut and Boss machine does not work with these big 3D embossing folders. So you have to use your big Stampin' Cut and Boss machine. So I am just coming in and I'm laying this down inside the folder, putting that down. and cranking it through. I use my big and my small, my big sister and little sister, every day. I think I love embossing and die cutting. Okay, so there we have our watercolor background. So fun and cool with the different splotches. And when you put him on there, it just, oh, really pops. Now I've already done my polished pink as well. So let's bring in our base, which is Calypso Coral. Oh my goodness. I am in need of more caffeine today, I think. It's just one of those days. All right, so Coastal Cabana. And then I've got my next layer, which is 4 by 5 1/4. And that's straight down. Now I'm putting these down, these layers, they're going down wonky. Just because it's fun. That's what I'm saying, just because it's fun. So I'm just making sure to stay within the layer here, and I'm kind of judging by my top corner and my bottom corner to make sure that I'm around about the same distance. All right, so do we like this? You always just take a look and see, or do you we like this way? It's slightly, I think this way, because there's that teeny bit of light right there, this spot right here, so that's going to be the top. And because this is textured, now you're going to want to make sure that you've got enough adhesive on the back. So now this is going to go the opposite direction. So, and we want to take a look at the bottom corner and the top corner, the opposites, to see if we're kind of sort of the same. When it's wonky, it doesn't have to be at all. So give that a good press. All right, so now, oh, we need to put in our insert. Into the inside of the card. And I kept my inside plain, just basic. Okay. Got the door closed here to my office because Connor is going over his practice exam with the teacher, and it's getting very, very toasty in here. All right, so I am taking some Stampin' Seal to give myself a base, and I have already used up an entire spool of this silver Simply Elegant trim. I love this stuff. It is fabulous. So we're going to pull out, and I've shown you before, when you've got it curling, use the heat of your hand, hold the end, and give it a fairly good grip, and run your finger down, because the heat and the oils from your hand are going to help straighten that out a bit more. And then we're going to come back in after we've straightened it. We're going to come back in, and we're going to okay, which way is that? We're going to curl it. So when you've got your adhesive on there, then you can just use that to hold that down, and you can make as many loops as you want, any shape that you want. And we don't want it like this perfect circle. We want it kind of willy-nilly. And then you can decide, flip it over. All right, do we like that many loops? I think that looks great. So now I am going to snip that, and I don't want both tails hanging out. So I'm going to take this one here, and I'm going to take it and, all right, where's my take your pick tool? It's on the table here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Help me with that. Grab that little end and pull it up. Come on. And tuck it. Because like I said, I don't want that. And there's no adhesive right there. So let's just, there. Okay. Now this is going to be kind of wibbly wobbly because of the thickness of that cording, but I'm okay with that. I'm just going to give it a really good press, and actually I'm going to use my minis instead because they're going to fit in there better. There's always the right sized embellishment and tool for the job, right? And I'm just kind of filling the back of this because I don't want any saggy, no saggy middles. All right, and let's see if I can't give myself a smidge more room there. And then I know this could be overkill. However, where did I put my, out here somewhere is, I'm not sure where I, oh, there it is, underneath the stamp set. I am going to add a little bit of the tear and tape just over this couple sections because I don't want this to come off. So let's, I know I'm a little crazy, but I just want to make sure that stick that down in there, that my cording is not going to go anywhere. And I'm just using the, oh, there's a little bit of a hair on that. I'm just using the pokey doodle end of my take your pick tool to help push that down so that it is going to, I'll just put that there because I don't need that piece. There, I am now sure that, whoop, come on, there we go. I'm now sure that that cording is not going to come off. And nobody knows how much stuff I have on the back of my card. All right, so now, Mr. Cutie Puffin, we need to put some dimensionals on you. And we're going to use the big ones for the body. And then we'll do a couple of the little ones for the feet. So what I'll do is I'm just going to cut one of these in half. there. Okay, so put this down so that we can visualize. So I want his head near that little bit of lightness. And he's kind of jumping over top of that. Thanks. So he's jumping for, or she is jumping for joy. So I'm just going to make sure that my top is straight so I can see if my, and I'm looking at the side because these two pieces are wonky. So to see that my sentiment is straight, I think you're just a hair. I always like to lift it up before I give it a good press to make sure that I'm not crooked. So you can see that it may look like this is a very time-consuming card, but it's not, because I've been chatting away with you, and it's not taking that awful long at all. And there we have it. Oh, so cute, except for the extra little stickies that I got on here. All right, clear this out of the way. So every time you do it, it's going to look a little different. Oh my goodness, because my hands are warm, I've got the little dimensional coverings everywhere. Get out of there. There we go. So that is today's card. Isn't it just so sweet? I didn't name this puffin. No, I didn't. I usually do name my critters, don't I? Peter Puffin? Yeah, so I'm just looking to see if I've got any questions. Yeah, your tablet is the same thing as your phone. Your computer's different. Yeah, see, the way I have my setup, my laptop is over on the other desk. So I can't easily get to it. I have to do a whole different setup when, like when I do my Zooms. When Di and I do our Over the Border, spring and fall social, it's through Zoom, so it's a little different setup that I've got the computer, the laptop set up, and I've got a pile of stuff and all that. So yes, so that is all for me today. I'm not seeing any questions. So have a fabulous Thursday, everybody. Thanks for joining, and I will see you again really soon. Please, if you have not yet, please click that subscribe button down below, as well as click the notification bell so that you don't miss any future videos from me. That would be fabulous. All right, guys, I am off for the day, and I will see you again soon. Like I said, bye for now.